speak truth and have an honest conversation in the African community of York, Pennsylvania. Let's face it, African Americans are experiencing pain from the past. COVID-19 pandemic, the deaths of Aubrey, Taylor, Floyd, and many of those in our own community lives that was taken by our own York City police officers. And the daily oppression that we have been fighting for over 400 years as African Americans here in America. We have come together so that we can discuss our common problems and come up with some common solutions. The conversation must go through an open process of community engagement and dialogue. Because within our unity, there are a rising number of African Americans seeking to destroy the root cause of the problem we face as a community. So let's get a clear understanding of the one thing before we start our conversation. Every mouth that speaks is not really talking with us, because sometimes people are talking at us and not with us. I'm going to say that one more time. Every mouth that speaks is not really talking with us, but sometimes people are talking at us and not with us. When there is not effective communication, it only fuels the frustration and conflict of our community. Eternal struggles and misunderstandings will arise because there is no good and clear communication. Let's understand that communication is important. I'm talking about communication, y'all. Communication is important, but if it's not conducted in peaceful and respectful manners, avoidable issues will remain a constant menace within our community. Y'all seen the menace of society, right? Come on, talk to me, y'all.
Yep.
Let's understand that communication is important, but if not conducted, I already said that, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I get nervous, y'all. I'm nervous. Hence, wrong ideas as assumptions will not be corrected. Conflict and remain unresolved confusion and disorder will develop. Wise decisions making is disordered. The development of deep intimacy and unity, emotional closeness is hindered where there is not effective communication. Let's have a real conversation, y'all. Without real conversation, our people, our personal problems are manifest in the abuse of effective communication. We can have all the money in the world, but if we don't have effective communication, we will not have any effective relationships or outcomes as a people. African Americans must collaborate our collective efforts and refuse supporting any businesses, schools, banks, and the list can go on, that does not stand in unity with to end the universal public racism of African American people. Drive the African American people, I believe that. We are called by God for a very important purpose today. That's why we're here. 2 weeks ago, among millions of people around the world, witnessed the police lynching of George Floyd with a knee on his neck while being told to get up and walk and stop resisting. This cycle has continued because there has been no real change. But I, Dr. Felicia Eennis, stand today to tell each and every one of us that change has come and it is evolving right before our faces right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. African Americans must use our collective wisdom, because we have it, our knowledge, because we have it, our power, to fundamentally restore unity in our community. We don't believe that things will not change. To the contrary, we hope that this needed conversation brings about strategic work plans for collective action, gearing to ultimately fix the problems one step at a time. Black not easily misunderstood, for it's not a face-to-face conversation. We must have a direct exchange of ideas, whether we are young or old. It's imperative that the African American community of York, Pennsylvania stands together. The conversation drives our social, policy, and participation in self-government processes for agreement building. We have to agree, y'all. We have to come together and we have to have the conversation. So the dialogue must go both ways. And that's not just us talking, but us also hearing the rebuttals of others with opposing views within our community. And that's why we're here tonight, because we come together as a community, even though we're standing here for our African Americans for justice. We have to come together, we have to have conversation in peace, and we have to come to an agreement on how it is that we can come up with positive solutions so that we can move forward as a people. So that's our call to action. That's our call to action tonight. And at this time, let's have a conversation.